Let's speak now to Dalia Fahmy, who is an Associate Professor of Political Science at Long Island University, Brooklyn. She's recently published work on the effects of Islamophobia on US foreign policy. Dalia, good to see you again. As we said earlier, this all seems to be about the border wall. What role do you think race, or rather racism, plays in this wall issue?
So when he was candidate Trump in 2016, President Trump ran on the border wall issue, and we remember the language of denigrating of Mexicans as rapists and that Mexicans send their worst to the United States. And this was part of his rallying call up until he won the election. Now, he has been pushing for this border wall in the language of security. But let's look at reality. The language of security that he's been using, the government shutdown has actually stopped the Coast Guard from stopping drug smugglers from bringing in drugs into the United States through fishing and through fishing boats and licenses. So in terms of security, the border is more insecure right now under this this government shutdown. But when we talk about the language of identity and racism that he's been using and peddling, even in the last tweet that you mentioned, he talks about that it's Democrats who are being hurt. The 800,000 government workers and everyone who's being hurt, if you're looking for a small loan right now, if you're looking for an IRS return, if you're looking for something that's going to help you in January, you're not going to get it. And so when he talks about extending this for a long time, the language of racism is now hurting the average American.
That was my next question. What do you make of these threats to keep the partial shutdown going for months or for even years?
Well, this is the language of President Trump, of using very large hyperbolic words to think that he's going to get success out of this. And fortunately, the leverage now is in the hands of this newly elected and sworn in House of Representatives. We're going to see a pushback where he's going to have his feet put to the fire, and people are going to start calling for actually their rights, because those who are going to be hurt most are not the members of his cabinet who are not going to see their raises, but those who are not going to get paid the first week of January for a month's work. We're already starting to see government workers doing pseudo-protests. For example, in the 9 houses the 9 agencies that have been shut down, people are not showing up to work anymore. And this is part of the social protest that's going to start to foment if this is not addressed. It will not lead to months and years.
Understandably, given they're now into their 3rd week of not being paid. Thank you for that. That is Dalia Fahmy live from New York.